Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special episode of Cast. And I have a very special guest for this episode, La Luchadora de Lebanese, the Lebanese Luchador, Mya Malek. How are you today, Mya?
Good, how are you? I'm just a little cold. It's minus 24 today.
Yeah, just now it's very cold over here. I think it's Celsius, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm at 10 and I'm freezing. My fingers are really freezing, but
Oh my gosh.
that's why we have the tea over here to warm the
Yep.
fingers.
I have my tea as well.
Ooh, love the cup.
Thank you. It's very festive.
What kind of tea do you have?
I also have a very festive tea. Don't make fun of me. But it's chai tea with peppermint cream mixed together.
Ooh, that sounds yummy. I just have the local street tea we have over here. That's why I named the
Yummy.
podcast Karak Cast, because this tea is called Karak as well. So do you always like your teas festive, as you put it?
Not always. I just love tea because it keeps you warm. But I'll drink any tea as long as it's got enough sugar in it.
I guess that's one way to
I
look
love
at it.
sugar.
Anyway, so we talked about the tea. The tea is the icebreaker usually, so that's good. We're all enjoying our tea. So, Mya, why don't you introduce yourself to our viewers? Or before we start with that, I want to let you know how I found you. I would love to thank Lady Algorithm because I went into my Instagram and you were like the top picture on my feed. And I'm like, I know that your mask looks familiar. That's the flag of Lebanon.
Yes.
So I'm like,
This is the
okay.
secret tea.
Yep, exactly. So I went in and I'm looking and, oh, a wrestler, a Lebanese Luchador. That's interesting. And you also love a game. You play video games. That's interesting. And I stopped everything and I said, I got to have Mya on. So, like I said, introduce yourself to our viewers.
That's so cool that you found me like that. I have no idea how the algorithm works, but I guess they just knew that you had to we had to meet each other. So I'm Mya Malek, and as you said, yes, I'm a Lebanese luchador. This is the cedar tree on the Lebanese flag. I'm a professional wrestler in the Maritimes right now in Canada, and I'm one of the actually I think right now I'm the only masked female wrestler in the Maritimes and one of the very few female wrestlers here. So it's been an exciting journey.
You're dominating, probably.
I'm killing it. I'm killing everyone.
That's good to hear from a wrestler. So I buried the lead. By the way, I'm from Bahrain. Do you know where that is?
Bahrain.
You said
No,
it right. You pronounced it right. You said ha. You didn't say
yes.
H.
I got the Lebanese accent.
That's good. So, you've gone international with the algorithm, I guess.
Yes.
So it's in the Middle East. It's right next to Dubai. It's an island.
Okay.
Small,
I knew
tiny island.
I knew it was somewhere close to Dubai, but I wasn't sure exactly where.
That's good. That's good. That's nice. So tell us your origin story. How did you get into wrestling?
So I have a weird story because people meet me and they often think that I'm like I was always this huge wrestling fan and I know all the wrestlers and but that's not really what happened. I never grew up with wrestling. So it was not something I watched. It was this whole world that I was not even part of. And it was only till recently, even like a couple of years ago, where I saw a local match and I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? And I was just so mesmerized by it because I wrestled in junior high, but it's nothing like professional wrestling. So I'm very new to it and I've been absorbing as much as possible and I love everything about it.
Oh, that's interesting. Welcome to the wrestling world then.
Thank you.
Do you find yourself going back to watch? I'm sure all of you, the people with you and training with you, they always recommend you matches to go and watch or
Oh,
periods of wrestling to go and watch. Is
a
there
hundred.
any specific period that you are fascinated with or you find interesting?
I feel like I've been watching a lot of like 2010 to 2016, I want to say. the
Okay.
world before the pandemic. Um, but even when I'm watching, I don't necessarily look for years. I look for
Mm,
wrestlers.
okay.
So there's lots of wrestlers I'm very fascinated by, and I'll stick to that. And I sometimes I won't even know what year it is or who their opponent is.
That's the good thing about YouTube. You can just type a name and find any match. And it will
Ex-
probably recommend you the best match.
Yeah, you can recommend me some matches. I'll watch them.
That's good. It's always good to see a wrestler who's always learning and always wants to learn.
Oh, 100%.
So, who are some of the names that you watch and follow then?
So absolutely love Rey Mysterio and Riho and Maki Ito. I love them. They have similar body sizes as me. So I like seeing like what do they do in the ring and what can I also do that they like. And then if we're talking about WWE, I watch Alexa Bliss exclusively. I like her a lot. But I would say Riho is my favorite. I love Riho. She's
Okay,
so
so do you watch AEW?
yes.
Okay.
And sometimes if like all the guy wrestlers are gonna watch the pay-per-view, I'll watch with them. And so I recently watched Darby Allin. I love him too. He
So,
always just
yeah, I'm sensing a theme there with the size of the wrestlers. That's good. You can always learn from them, right? While you're watching them.
exactly.
Okay, that's really good. And that's it. Like, you watch AEW and do you watch WWE, the current product, on a week-to-week
Um,
basis?
I don't know if it's like current because I don't watch like the TV scheduling,
Yeah.
but I did watch like the recent Royal Rumble. I really enjoyed that
Okay.
from like a few months ago. So I like keeping up with the females just to learn.
Okay. The Rumble is like in 3 days. Are you going to watch it?
Oh, it is. I
Yeah.
should watch it then, yes.
Yes.
Maybe I'll tell the wrestlers.
Okay. Who's your pick to win from the female and male Rumbles?
I really like Bianca.
Okay.
She's really strong and she kind of reminds me like of a superhero. So I like her. I think
Oh,
she could win it. Um, maybe I like Sasha Banks too. So maybe her.
yeah,
Who do you
definitely.
win?
The Rumble is something you shouldn't miss ever. Like for wrestling fans, that's like the
The Super Bowl.
you say Super Bowl over here. We say Al Eid Mall Wrestling,
Oh, Eid, yeah.
WrestleMania and the Rumble. You can't even like I've gone through periods where I don't watch anything at all, like 2 3 years, but I'll come
Yeah.
back to watch the Rumble and WrestleMania. Even if
Okay,
I
watch
don't
it.
know who's like wrestling or who's in it, just to because it's a celebration of wrestling, I think.
No, 100%. I'm definitely gonna watch it. I'm sure the boys are gonna watch it, so I'll go over to one of their houses.
Okay, so what prompted you to go to the wrestling event that you first attended and got into wrestling from there?
So actually, it was this production, this company that I was basically doing an audition for something, and
Hmm.
I walked into it blindly, and that kind of they invited me to this show. It's about an hour away from where I am, so they drove me down and everything, and it was just there was like this guy with a snake, and I was
Oh,
like, oh my God, that's a real snake. And that's when I kind of realized, maybe wrestling isn't all fake like people say it is.
you said
And
the
it's,
F word. Oh my
yeah,
God, I'm gonna
I
bleep
know,
that.
but it's not fake. As you get in the ring, the more you realize there's nothing fake about professional wrestling. So
E-
that it's intriguing.
Exactly. So you were one of those people who thought you probably were exposed to it, seen something or heard something or saw on the news, and you thought, oh, these are the F guys, the actors, I guess.
Well, I didn't think it was. I just
Okay.
heard other people say it was.
Mm.
And the more I learned about wrestling, the more that bothered me because I was like, why do people think that? I wonder.
It's a nice story to run on the news cycles, I guess.
Yeah, true.
So since you weren't like into wrestling, I'm gonna throw a few names at you and just pick one or the
Okay.
other. I'm gonna pick like very popular names, not anything uh,
Okay.
too niche. So Undertaker or Kane?
Undertaker.
Okay. Steve Austin or The Rock?
The Rock.
Okay.
I love The Rock.
Shawn Michaels or Bret Hart?
Bret Hart.
I don't think we'll ever find any Canadian who's going to say Shawn Michaels, but I gotta try. Okay, so let's mix it up. Trish Stratus or Lita?
Ooh, Trish Stratus.
Ooh, again with the Canadians, there's a theme here. Becky Lynch or Charlotte Flair?
Becky Lynch.
And
I like
fine.
Becky Lynch.
Okay. Ric Flair or Hulk Hogan?
Oh, Ric Flair.
Okay.
He's a legend.
Can you elaborate since you had to pause for that?
Well, it's a tough one because they're both so good, but Ric Flair, I mean, he's got the Charlotte Flair bonus points and he's so old and he's still around. Come on. You gotta give him credit for that.
And the crazy promos. You don't
Yes,
need.
that too. He's so funny.
Do you think you'll ever be able to cut like a promo in Arabic and get the people into it? It's kind of hard because like if you're gonna cut a promo in Arabic and the crowd is mostly English speakers, you're
Yeah.
gonna come off as a heel. But do you think you can turn the people with like a passionate promo in Arabic?
It's funny you ask me that because the very first people that I met locally laughed at me when I said that I was a baby face who was Lebanese. They were like,
Mm,
you can't do that.
yeah.
But then the coach that I met now was like, no, you're a huge baby face. You can speak Arabic, you can do whatever, and you will still be a baby face. So maybe I should test that theory one day and see what happens.
Yeah.
Speak
Um,
Lebanese promo.
yeah, I think it could be done.
Yeah.
Okay, so how long did it take from when you first started training until your first legit match?
Well, see, I went through a weird process with training, but I would say it was about 5 months. And that was quick. That was too quick, I found. Because I kind of got rushed into matches. They really wanted me to be on their promotion. And I wish I took more time with training before my first match.
Okay, seems like you always want to improve.
Yeah, I'm a perfectionist.
That's good. That's not a negative. So I've watched a few interviews of yours from the past, and have you perfected the 619 yet and the moonsault?
So I have done the moonsault on a crash mat, and I changed my mind about the moonsault. I don't want to do the moonsault because even on the crash mat, it really hurt me. So I think that one's canceled for me. The 619. So I can do it now. I don't, I need to do the move justice, and I don't think it's ready yet. So maybe in like 2 months.
You'll get there. You put a timetable for yourself. That's good.
Yeah.
But I've seen you dive, and it looked good.
Thank you.
And
I
like,
do
like
like that.
it's interesting. So now let's get into gaming.
Okay.
What are some of your earliest memories of playing video games, and what would have been the first console you played?
So my earliest, taking me back to childhood, I was gaming at a very young age. I have two brothers, and so it was we had a Nintendo 64,
Ooh,
and I think the first game I played on it was Mario Kart.
good. You can't go wrong with that. Not necessarily the first video game, just the earliest games you were playing? Other than Mario Kart, what would you have been playing?
I remember the very first game that I wanted to play was on the GameCube, and it was the very first Animal Crossing. I loved that game, like just hours and hours on it.
Okay, so you've been a fan of Animal Crossing for a long time now.
Oh yes, it's my favorite game.
How perfect was the release date for the recent one, with the
How
lockdowns and everything?
Oh, yes. So I actually purchased my Nintendo Switch because of the lockdown. I
Mm.
was gonna get it anyway, but I sold my PS3 and I was like, I'm getting the Switch. And I got Animal Crossing, and I must have played for 600 hours in the first few months of the lockdown. Like that, it was my survival. Like I wouldn't have survived without it.
Yeah, not just you, the whole world.
Yeah, it was a tough time.
Switches were flying off the shelf because people wanted to play Animal Crossing. And you
I
couldn't find
know.
it for a while.
I couldn't find the limited edition Switch, the Animal Crossing one, and now it's everywhere. So I'm like, oh, but I can't get it now because I already have one.
That's nice. That's good. Okay, and you're a fan of Pokemon as well. So the basic Pokemon question. Your favorite Pokemon?
Okay, this is really hard for me to answer. Can, if it's just one, I would have to say
Top
Vaporeon.
three.
Okay,
Oh, you went for
Vulpix.
the best.
I love Vulpix and Vaporeon and Flareon.
These are all Gen 1ers, so you're like,
I like the originals, yeah.
okay, interesting. You picked like Vaporeon, the most elegant and regal of the Pokemons.
Yes,
So,
I love
so
it.
I don't need to ask you what's your favorite evolution. It's Vaporeon, obviously.
And Flareon. I did a painting of all of the Eevee evolutions in one. I'm obsessed with Eevee.
You can't go wrong with Eevee or any other Pokemon for the first generation. So that's
Mm.
good. By any chance, did you watch Pokemon in Arabic? With the Arabic dub?
They have Pokemon in Arabic?
Oh my god! Whoa! This is a whole different world you need to get into.
Oh my gosh, I feel like I just learned about pro wrestling again. This is amazing. I have to
That's,
watch it.
oh my god! Do you know like the intro song is like the most popular song over here?
Gosh, I have to watch the theme song now. I'm so
Like
excited.
like I'm sure right now if you Google like the English theme song and then you or on YouTube the English one
Yeah.
and the Arabic one, I can guarantee you that the Arabic one has like 10x views than the English one.
No way.
Yes.
That actually makes sense because Pokemon is really popular.
Uh, uh,
And
oh, I don't want to get into the rabbit hole over here.
no.
But Pokemon was such a big craze. There was like a big conspiracy over here. They banned it from places, and yeah, it was just crazy. I kept everything like I had in a box and hid it because it
Yeah.
got to a point that like people were like burning anything that had to do with Pokemon.
No.
It was a big conspiracy. I don't want to get into it. It's a very long and stupid story. But like
Yeah.
that period from I think I want to say end of 98 till early 2000, Pokemon was the biggest thing over here. Like it was a literal Pokemon craze over here. Not just in Bahrain, like I think maybe the whole Middle East probably, give or take a few countries.
I don't remember those years. I was just a little baby, but I believe you.
No, I don't want to get into it. It's such a long story, but Pokemon is big over here. Even like when Pokemon Go came out over here, like within one day, everybody became a Pokemon fan and was playing the game. And then the same thing, they tried to start the same thing saying, oh, this is bad, ruining our children, blah, 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 blah. It faded away quickly. But in
Yeah.
the 90s, it didn't fade that quick. It took a while for them. Anyway, I'll send you the song in
Yes,
Arabic.
please. please, because I love the English version. I think I would love the Arabic one even more. So I literally play the English one on Spotify like at least once every couple days.
Okay. Here's a fun fact for you. Do you know that there's a Pokemon that's based on an actual pro wrestler?
Which Pokemon?
The wrestler, I'm going to tell you about the wrestler first. He's Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
He's a legend, and he's like very popular in Japan, this wrestler. Okay. And the Pokemon is from Generation 1. So, the gold generation, the golden
Okay,
generation.
yes, the good ones.
So you're not going to guess it because even wrestling fans wouldn't know this.
Mm-hmm.
But what's it called? Machoke.
Machoke?
Yeah.
I love
Even
Machoke.
even Machop and Machamp, they're based on him.
I still can't think of the wrestler.
Don't worry, like this wrestler, a lot
He
of
doesn't
people
look
wouldn't.
like him.
No, because I'll explain now. Like the wrestler is called Abdullah the Butcher. He's a Canadian, and
Okay.
he's been wrestling since the late 50s.
Holy.
Yeah, and he's very popular in Japan. Like a lot of people don't even know how popular he is in Japan because a lot of the things from Japan we don't get them outside of Japan.
Yeah, true.
So I did a video last year about this topic, how much influential he is on Japanese media. There are so many video game characters based on this wrestler, Abdullah the Butcher. So many anime characters based on him. And he's been on movies and TV shows there in Japan. And he has a music album there in Japan.
Does he still wrestle?
He retired, I think, in like the 2010s, maybe.
Wow, so he's been wrestling a long time still.
Yeah. Abdullah himself is like a rabbit hole to his own. But
Oh,
I'll share.
his matches.
No, his style, I don't know. You can check it and judge for yourself. But I'll send you the video I made. You'll get a good picture. And you'll see how he's like inspired the designs of Machop, and Machamp.
That's a good Pokemon too because it's like a fighting one.
Yeah.
Makes
Okay, I saw that you used your theme song was a remix of Habibi and Noor Al Ain. Why that song?
Yes. So I had to think of something that was both catchy, Arabic culture, but also that Canadians here would like too. So I feel like, Masari is such a good artist because everyone here knows him and everyone in Lebanon knows him. So I wanted to get that balance. And also the remix is like I can dance to it when I come out. And crazy, the girl in that remix, Maya, is really close to my name. Mya.
Okay, interesting.
So I just had to, and it's good to belly dance too, because when I come out, I belly dance. So it was perfect.
Yeah, and I think that song was very popular. I think it was translated to a lot of languages, and
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
pretty
very
sure.
popular song.
Yeah, and I'm blanking out on the original artist, but
Oh, it's so good. So you know the original song from like way back.
yeah, I want
Ahmed
to.
Diab, I think, right?
Oh yeah, it is Amr Diab. Yeah.
And Maya is his cousin, I think.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, singing family. That's good.
Mhm.
That's very good. So that's a very smart thing that you did. That you picked something a beat that people would recognize, or at least the music fanatics would recognize, I guess.
Yeah. So I decided not to focus it on what my favorite songs are,
Mm.
but what I think everyone would like.
That's very good because Arabic. I can't imagine Arabic for a wrestling entrance, but somehow you figured it out. That's good.
Yeah.
Because I don't know the scales in Arabic music and the progression. It doesn't lend itself to like a wrestling entrance.
No, I tried so hard. There were so many songs where I was like, this is great. And I'm like, oh, this doesn't work for wrestling.
Yeah, because you need something with like action, But Arabic is all mellow. It's all mellow.
Yeah, lots of instruments. They have like 10 instruments in every song. Do you ever notice that?
I'm sure there are more like than.
Yeah.
I don't listen to Arabic music, but they're everywhere I go. So yeah,
Listen to it like 40% of the time.
music is music, and it's different taste. I
Yeah.
don't know. Maybe I'm missing out. Probably there are a lot of good songs I'm not listening to.
I'll send you some good ones.
There are a lot of good Arabic songs, I'm sure. And if you're listening to the radio and you're like humming or beating along, it got you. It got catchy. The song.
Yeah. I strongly recommend Nancy Ajram.
No, I know Nancy. Everybody plays Nancy around here. So Nancy, Elisa. What's the other one's name? The three top. I don't know. I don't remember.
Najwa Karam.
You have Najwa Karam. You have
She's
so many.
popular.
I saw a video on TikTok that you uploaded, and I gotta ask, when are you gonna upload part 2? Because I was dead laughing. The growing up Lebanese.
Oh yes. I recorded it and then I watched it on TikTok and I was like, would my dad be happy if he saw this? Or would he beat me up? But I won't do a part 2. I'm gonna do a part 2 just for you.
But that was the whole point of the video. It hit home. It was a home run.
Yeah? You liked it?
Yeah, the classic weapons. I mean, you use the classic weapons. How can
Oh
I?
yes, the sharhuta, the slipper. That was the worst one. When she pulls it off, you know you're in trouble.
And the belt as well. So that's good. You have to make a part 2, something else.
Okay, I'm gonna make a part 2.
Yeah, it connected. That's the most important thing.
Yes.
Connected. So, Mya, what's next for Mya Malek in wrestling in the next year? Well, what's your goal for the next year? Or this year, sorry.
For this year, yeah, it just started. I'm hoping to travel a lot. I had like maybe 6 bookings that were out of the Maritimes, and a couple of them got canceled because of COVID and stuff. So my goal is to just get as much travel as possible, get my name out there, meet as many promotions and wrestlers as I can. Hopefully the bookings that I have don't get canceled and that can happen. I just want to see everything. I want to travel everywhere.
And beat up everybody.
Oh yes, I'm gonna beat up everybody. I'm a strong.
Yeah, you heard that? All future opponents of Mya.
Watch out.
Yeah. How about, do you have like a goal to wrestle in Lebanon in the future?
Oh my gosh, can you imagine if that ever happened? That'd be insane. Maybe like 3 years down the road, that could be a goal. If I could make that happen, wow.
Hopefully.
I'd be very happy.
You do know Lebanon has a rich history in wrestling, right?
I tried looking up some of it. I couldn't find like a female wrestler from Lebanon.
No, female, I don't think so. But I don't.
I'll be
nothing
the
comes to
first
mind.
one.
Why not? But Lebanon has a really rich history of wrestling. Probably the first in the region, probably. Like,
Do you think they still have promotions there?
I think the last one would have shut down a few years ago. Like, I know that there's a promotion that was running till like the mid 2000s, maybe 2005, 2006. And they do have shows there. And they do bring other wrestlers from all over the world to wrestle there from time
That's
to time.
amazing.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll wrestle there.
Ask anyone in your family if they know John Saada. He's like the Lebanese legend.
I'm gonna ask my family.
He was in movies. He had a song. He recorded a song. But,
Oh, really?
yeah, but in those days, wrestling in Lebanon was like catch wrestling. It's a different style of wrestling, more grappling, but it's the same, like ring and everything. And when you look at pictures from those times, like this was in the 60s probably, like people are dressed up to go watch a wrestling show. They're all in suits and dappered up and dressed very well. It was really nice.
That's so awesome. It's very wholesome. I miss stuff like that. Yeah. I wish I would be able to see some of that, like go back in time.
Oh, that's a superpower.
Well, I have some superpowers.
Okay. What's Mya Malek's superpower?
Well, whenever I have this whole mask on, and I'm more powerful, and I can do things that I can't do without it. I can't go back in time though.
Oh, when they figure it out, I'm sure he'll be able to. Fingers crossed, that's something we really need.
Yes.
So, Mya Malek, any last words for all your opponents and your fans around the world and the people who will be seeing this?
I just wanted to say hello, everyone all over the world, wherever you're from. If there's anybody from Lebanon, hello, all the way from Lebanon. Yeah, just if my opponents are watching, you should be very scared. And if my fans are watching, stay tuned because I'm going to be traveling a lot soon. I can't wait to meet all of you. And when I have my downtime, I'm going to be playing Pokemon and Animal Crossing. Did you know that Pokemon comes out tomorrow?
Which Pokemon?
There's a new Pokemon that's coming out tomorrow. I was going to pre-order it, but I just played.
Oh, Pokemon Legends. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, comes out tomorrow. But I canceled my pre-order because I have like 3 Pokemon games on the go right now.
Well, Mya Malek, thank you very much for joining me today. And I don't need a crystal ball or to be a fortune teller to see that you have a very bright future in wrestling. And I wish you all the luck in wrestling. And you have a fan now in Bahrain, and I'm sure the people who will be watching will also be fans of yours. I'm going to leave all your socials in the description of this video and interview. Thank you very much for joining me, Mya.
Oh, and I love your stuffy. I have stuffies too.
Oh, the mushroom, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know who that guy is on the poster? You should know him.
His face looks too... No.
That's Brock Lesnar from a few years ago.
Okay. I know the name, but I don't recognize him in that picture.
Yeah, he looks like a hipster right now. So thank you very much, Mya, for joining me today. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the luchador from Lebanon, Mya Malek. Thank you very much for joining me. And don't forget to like and subscribe, guys, and follow Mya.
Yeah, do it.